so many rings. Like back to back ain't a real thing. We got so many rings. I'ma do the whole look. So many.
Nick Lewis here, getting ready for the 2025 men's lacrosse season with head coach Jim Berkman, now in his 37th season, getting ready for the home and season opener on February 1st. Coach, let's just talk about getting ready for the 2025 campaign, going into year 37. What keeps you motivated and fired up to go work with these guys day in and day out?
Well, it's a classic case. It's a new team. It's some new individuals. We got some holes to fill. We got to motivate some guys to get better. And we got another opportunity to help young men realize their potential, and that's what motivates you to do this. You work hard, and you hopefully make a difference in somebody's life in a lot of ways on and off the field to make them a better man, and we have that opportunity again this year, and we're real excited about that.
Nick, getting ready for another campaign, obviously you're kind of one of the central pieces of one of the top defenses in the country. You yourself leading all three divisions of the NCAA in goals against average last year. Going into this season, what have you seen from a leadership perspective, looking at your side of the ball when it comes to the defense and those guys?
Yeah, when it comes to this year especially, we have a couple of veterans obviously still here around, Johnny DeFazio, Jerry, Brice Stevenson, all those guys. But with a lot of new guys coming in, it's important to get those guys used to our defense, get used to what they coming in as a freshman. All those new guys, we have another transfer, Seamus, coming in, and he's just elevated our defense to a whole new level, and getting those guys used to the Salisbury defense way.
Talk about what you've seen from those guys on the attacking side of the field that gives you confidence going into 2025 and what they'll be able to produce.
Well, I think that you got to start with Brice Bromwell, who is one of the best middies in the country. I think he's a candidate for Player of the Year. He's as good as middy that's played here in a long, long time, and a tremendous leader whose game's taken another step since last year. So it's really good that you have somebody to work off of like that. You get Riley Strub back, who was leading us in goals last year, and a team was loaded with players, and he was the one who was leading us in goals scored, and is a step better also. And Chris Wong got valuable experience when Riley went down and started the remainder of the season, as did Ty Keaton because of injury. Those three guys right there have a tremendous amount, of experience. And then you throw in the mix Connor Haraz, transfer, scored over 100 points for 2 seasons at Cabrini. You got a great freshman named Michael Lee. He's one of our best offensive freshmen we've had in a long time that's in the mix. And then you got about 7 or 8 other middies that have been here for 3 or 4 years who have gotten a whole lot better, that give you a lot of depth at midfield. We're not going to miss a beat on offense, I don't think. We might play a little bit different on that end of the field because we got a lot of attackmen in that group of the top 8. But they definitely can score goals, and they're a treat to watch. They really move the ball.
Looking at the other side of the field, you guys have one of the best defenses in the nation on the other side, and you're returning almost everybody from that group. How much confidence does that give you guys shooting the ball on the other side of the field, knowing that you have one of the nation's best Ds on the other end?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think we only lost like 2 D guys from last year, Reagan and Braden Glushico. What they did and what they taught our younger guys maybe helped us this year to have our confidence that our defense has right now. And then just like you said, if you're beating guys like Brice Stevenson, John DeFazio, Jerry Stafford, good for you. That's pretty cool. But then you got to beat our guy in goal too, Nick Ransom, and he's unbelievable. Probably one of the better goalies I've ever shot on. He kind of makes you mad at practice because of how good he is. I mean, when you know that you got those guys down there, it helps us to know that they got our back, we got their back, kind of thing.
What will it take going into 2025 for you guys to get to Foxborough to hoist that national championship trophy once again?
Well, I just think we got to continue to get better. I think it's going to take a little time for the offense to kind of learn to play with each other, because we're going to be playing with a lot of attackmen at the midfield, and we're going to have a lot of odd units. I think it's not, hey, these are the first 3 guys at the midfield. I mean, there's a lot of guys are going to be in an attack, a lot of guys are going to be bouncing up the midfield, and I think for the coaches managing that's going to take a little bit too. That's a little bit different in the past, but there is definitely some talent there that can get to the goal and can score, and and now we got to harness it, and we got to manage it a little bit better probably than we've had in the past. And I think if we do a good job and everybody buys into the roles at different times, depending on where they're at, there's a great deal of potential to score a lot of goals.